I went to Rome, I put inside my computer this USB pen, and I watched something that completely tortured me and made me want to go back and do this film. Every film I say is my first film and my last film. I start without knowing where the film is going to take me. I write my film with the camera, you know, every time there is a pattern that you start following, and then you discover that suddenly you have a film. For me, the biggest investment is time. It's usually I fall in love with this place. It was India, it was the American desert, it was Mexico with the story of a cartel. So there's always a strong place that somehow attracts me. And then within this space, I have to find some people that then become eventually character of my film. I remember I had the bronchitis, and I had to go to the hospital, and I met Dr. Bartola, and I sit in front of him talking, and for 2 hours we talked about everything. Then just at the end I told him I was a filmmaker, and I didn't know if I was going to be back in Lampedusa to make this film. Then he told me, yeah, I think you have to be back in Lampedusa, and you will be back in Lampedusa. And he gave me, from his drawer, he took this USB pen, and in this USB pen there were 20 years of his witnessing arrival of migrants, all kind of death stories, people, kids. And he said, you go home, you're gonna watch this, I'm sure you're gonna be back and you're gonna bring me back this pen. I create a long-time relationship with the people I film. At a certain point there's this tendency of forgetting there is a camera, and camera becomes part of life, and life becomes parts of the cameras. I had a very strong relationship with Dr. Bartolo, and I was able to film him sometime here and there. It was very difficult to film him in a way that would really represent who he was. And only at the end, when the film was finished, I felt that I was missing an important part with him. And I went back to him, and I remember this pen, and I gave it back to him, and I say, now, put in your computer, you have to give me, while I'm filming, the same emotion that you gave me the first day when I met you and you were talking to me about this tragedy. And I think that became one of the most powerful moments in the film, which somehow is the moment that allowed us to go through also the pain of encountering death at the end. So you have to be able to put the camera at the right moment and to leave at the right moment also. You have to be able when to start and when to leave. Although there is a moment in the film which is like witnessing history, and is when the Nigerian group that was just escaped from the sea and dying, there is a chanting there which for me is worth all possible interview you could make, because that's by witnessing story through this moment of, is an epic moment for me in the film, that when they narrate and there's a testimony of a journey that starts from Africa, goes to Libya, and then from Libya goes to the sea and arrives to Lampedusa. And it's very short, but it's so condensed and so rich of narrative space for me, which somehow that was the peak of, I cannot reach that moment with any kind of interview. It would be impossible. So the whole film somehow becomes a construction to arrive to the moment of death and to be able to live from that moment, to give somehow integrity to the people of the island. So the whole film was somehow built in order to arrive to that moment.